Hi, I'm Johan,
Hi, I'm Haruko.
and we are missionaries in Japan, and we started Osaka International Baptist Church in September 2023.
I was born into a typical Japanese family. Both of my parents were really good to me, but I knew that there was a God, but didn't know what kind of God I should trust in. I went to Australia as an exchange student. There, I first heard about Jesus and met Christians for my first time. Then a few months later, I was invited to a church, and I clearly understood the gospel and I was saved. I wanted to share this good news with the rest of my family. So later on, my parents, my older sister, my younger brother, they all became believers. God was strongly speaking to me that I need to share this gospel with many Japanese people.
So for me, when I was 23 years old, I had a deepening of my relationship with God, and I felt at that point that I want to go into ministry. But only many years later, when I was in South Korea, I was teaching English. I felt like I don't want to teach them English, I want to teach them the Bible. I want to give them things with eternal value. And already that's when I started praying to say, God, I want to go into ministry. I want to work for you. I first was a student at a Bible school, and later I became a staff. That's where I met Haruko. So as soon as we started talking, I realized she's the one. The biggest need is in Japan. It's the second largest unreached nation in the world. And I never knew that. And when I realized, what the need is in Japan, it just made sense. This is where we need to be. And we felt the way to effectively reach the people would be through a church plant. So planting the church in Osaka went smoothly for us, I think, in the sense because Haruko had so much experience working at a church in Japan that basically was very young when she joined. And to know what works, what doesn't work, how to do it, how to go about it. She knows the Japanese culture and the people. So in that sense, we did a lot of planning for 1 year. Of course, as soon as we started, we felt overwhelmed. When you have to do things for the first time, and we had the foundation courses, we had to start writing those, and she had to translate it and start preparing sermons. I had to do all the sermons suddenly where I didn't need to do that in the past. So it was a big adjustment. But in a way, God just blessed us in the sense that the ministries that we did do connected us with so many people. The statistics are very bad for Japan in the sense that, when you look at the internet, website may say you have 1% or even 1.2% Christians, which is not true. Everything is included in that. And so you have Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, and many other cults, and they all put it under Christianity. So if you actually look at evangelical Christians, and especially in Osaka area, it comes down to 0.3%. Statistics say that 95% of Japanese will live and die and not hear the gospel even one time in their life.
In America, it is very easy to share the gospel. They already know about the Bible and Jesus, who Jesus is. But here in Japan, people don't even know about the story of Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, or the famous story from the Bible. That really makes us difficult to trust in Jesus as our Savior because we don't have the foundation.
The big thing in Japan is people don't like religion in general, and they're scared of church because there are a lot of cults and they call themselves churches as well. So that's the hard thing. So to reach the Japanese, you need to build a relationship with them. So English Cafe is a ministry where we have snacks and drinks. We invite the Japanese because in Japan it's very hard to speak English. There's nobody to speak English to. And so we get foreigners to communicate with them. They can get an opportunity to make friends and speak English. And through these relationships, they start opening up their hearts. And at that platform we use at certain times to share truth from the Bible with them or to share the gospel. And also through these relationships, we invite them to church. And the second thing we did was to start a small English school, which is just afternoon classes. Of course, we can share Bible knowledge, like stories with the kids, but once again, build a relationship with the kids, build a relationship with the parents, and through these relationships, we start talking to them about God, and also we invite them to our church. We had 8 baptisms, and in the last 2 months, we had 3 people getting saved and now being baptized. You know, in Japan, they used to say like, yeah, you know, it takes 10 years for somebody to get saved. It's like really, it's hard ground, and it is. But God can use our efforts, which is, you know, very little, to connect with these people, and even through those relationships, share truth with them that they would have never heard. So our vision is to grow our church to such an extent that our church will multiply, and there will be more biblical churches in this city, in this prefecture, and in Japan, filled with Christian families living for God's glory. That is what we want to train. That's what we want to see happen. Even with the little that we had, He's multiplied it, and I think He's done something great already.